Oh, man. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking is follow that. Holy macaroni. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. We need another one on the other side now. I like symmetry. Everybody like symmetry? Yeah, we need another one like that. So, it's obvious I'm doing a talk today. Guiding principle of spirit. What's your GPS? What Eve was singing about. In fact, actually, both songs were right up this alley. It is amazing to me every single day at how this thing called life is always in sync. Which makes me realize that right now, when it's not working, we're the ones that are out of sync. Spirit doesn't have to fix itself, but we have to recognize the music of life and get back within synchronicity of it. When she was talking about that SUV that cut her off, it's funny that she's talking about that because that's, again, spirit in action showing what my talk is about, showing up in a song. The practice of the science of mind calls for a positive understanding of spirit of truth. That is so true. A positive understanding. Not a ho-hum, gee, life sucks, and it's not following what I want it to be. No, it's positive. Change your tune. Synchronize yourself with the music of life. Spirit of truth. The truth of who and what you are. The beautiful thing about this thing called music, this thing called life, the music of life, is everyone has their own beat pattern. What resonates with me doesn't necessarily resonate with you. And that's okay. Just like being at a drum circle, everyone has their own rhythm, their own beating of their own drums. But yet when we all come together in unity, it makes this beautiful, organic sound that fills each and every one of us up. A willingness to let this inner spirit guide us with the conscious knowing that the law of the Lord is perfect. That one sentence, Psalm 19-7. And we must believe this to be a fact. The law of the Lord. The law, the mechanical essence of spirit, how the thought becomes the thing. That is what we call here the law. In other religions, they may call it the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost, the messenger of God. We are more mechanical. We are more on a more mechanical level, a scientific level of faith. The law. There is a process of your thought becoming reality. Spirit always says yes. And through law, it becomes a reality in your experience. Insofar as our thought is in accord with this perfect law, it will accomplish and nothing can hinder it. That is a beautiful sentence right there that Ernest Holmes wrote. And I forget what page it was on. I think it was like 38, paragraph 2. We'll find out on the next slide. But nothing can hinder it. Know that. Regardless of where you are today, what issues you may have, what obstacles may be in your life, nothing can hinder it. God says yes to what you have in your consciousness. You want to change your life? Easy. Change your thought pattern. It's easy to say, but by God, is it difficult? I'll say yes. I've got 50-something years of this thing, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm a reverend, and I'm trying to figure it out. So just because I have a title in front of me, and you may not, doesn't mean that you were any farther behind me or farther ahead of me. Because there is no checkered flag at the end of this. There's just the experience of life. According to the unity of mind, notice that that's a capital letter. Again, a few weeks ago I talked about it. That capital represents the aspect of God, of spirit, of the universe. So when you see something here written in a capital text, it is referring to the aspect of the Almighty, of the universe, that divine plan. Thought is everywhere present, and so long as it persists, it will remain present. The key word for me is present. Because with spirit, there is no future, there's no past, there's only now. I can only affect my life when I'm in the conscious field of being now, right here. Not looking in my rear view mirror, not wondering what's over the mountain, but what is right here that I'm dealing with today. And that is what my talk is about, your internal GPS. What is known in one place may be known in all places. Time, space, and obstructions are unknown to the mind and thought. There we go. I was almost right. 325. I said 34, right? I was close. There was a 3 in there. That is a beautiful paragraph, or actually it was a couple of paragraphs. It helps us realize that, as simple as it is, right here is where we are. Now what? What are you going to do? You going to whine about what happened to you in the past, about how mommy and daddy didn't love you? Anybody's got that type of a storyline. But what does that have to do with what your decisions you're making today? I seem to think it means nothing. It's nice to have that story, because as I'm helping people along this journey of life, I have context. And maybe that's what it's all about, is context. Having a history is nothing more than an encyclopedia of your life that you can refer back to help someone who may be going through a situation that is similar to what you're going through, and you can refer back to it quickly to go, you know what? I had the same problem. This is how I overcame it. But I'm living in the now. What's next? So, instead of getting cut off the road, how about let's go off the road? I like to go four-wheeling. And here's a photograph of a run called John Bull up in Big Bear. And it's kind of a difficult type of run, as you can see. All those rocks and boulders in the way. It makes you think, how the heck am I going to get through that? What type of rocks and boulders are in your life? Are you stuck on something right now? That's a question that only you can answer. The rocks and boulders that are on your path are of the relative plane. There's basically two aspects of spirit in life. There is secondary causation, which is the relative world, which is where we are right now. Then there's the aspect of spirit called first cause. That is where we are creating life with and through Spirit from that higher plane, that higher register of frequency, of consciousness, to allow this human experience to do just that, experience. This is my truck. And I don't know if it shows up too well, but that's a pretty decent-sized boulder. And then there's this rock over here, you know. But there's a thing on my truck called sliders. And those are the small things, as you can see, right here, that stick along the edge of my truck. And those are designed to protect my truck from outside obstacles. But let's get down to it. This talk is a euphemism about your own life. That truck is your body, your physical shell, your model. This model right here is a 1966, baby. And I'm loving it. But those sliders are there that I've put on myself to protect my truck from the boulders of life, from getting hurt, from getting scratched. In a sense, it's a way to keep away things getting close to me. How many times have you done that? What type of rock sliders do you have on your life? How far away are you trying to keep things away so that you don't get scratched or dinged? You know, it's not very fun being that safe, I don't think. It's kind of, what's next? Oh. Sliders, the external protection. I have oversight so I don't scratch my paint. And I get razzed all the time. The other people in my Jeep community, they laugh at me. But you know what my answer is? But my truck looks great on Saturday night taking my wife out on the town. And their answer to me is, yeah, but my Jeep is higher than yours. It's all about perspective. What's important? To me, the body, the paint job, to look pristine so it doesn't look all ratted and worn out. I mean, what did Dr. Joe say? At the end of my life, I want to come in sliding into home, worn out, dusty, torn, not pristine and gorgeous like I came from a ball. And you know what? I have to agree with that. To come in with scratches and dings on your door, on this body. Because let's face it, cars and trucks, they have body shops. We have plastic surgeons. Believe me, I'm sure there's a few of us here who have some Bondo on to cover up and smooth out those cracks. What am I afraid of? Am I afraid of life getting to me? I would have to say yes. By having those type of sliders on my truck, by having those type of sliders on your life, would you agree that you've kind of kept life at bay? You haven't really dived into this thing and trusted the pool of life to support you? You think you're going to drown? So let's take off those rock sliders, or at least maybe trim them down a little bit. Right here, if you could bring up the volume, please. This is a little bit of a video showing an outside of my truck. Yeah, get it bumped up pretty good. Listen.
Straight up, right there. Let it work, let it work. Keep going. Let it work.
Let it work.
Come on, baby. Let it work.
Let it work.
Keep going. Keep going.
That's spirit talking.
Back it up. Your sliders are stopping you, right?
My sliders are getting me stuck. Look at that. The voice you hear there is a friend called Jorge, and he has a channel on YouTube called Trail Militia, and what he does off-roading all types of vehicles. He's not a Jeep person. He's not a Ford person. He's an off-road experience person. He just lives the dream. And what he's doing there, and in my next slide, let it work. How often have we not trusted Spirit to get us over that obstacle, that boulder? Let it work. Spirit, let it work through you and as you. You can overcome these obstacles, these boulders in your life. And just like he said, if you get stuck a little bit, back it up. Change your direction. But eventually you will get around that boulder and continue on your own journey, that own path that only you know where you are going. God, that was such a fun day. This is Jorge right here. Not looking at the obstacles, and I'm looking to my guide, Spirit First Cause. I am able to complete my quest. What I noticed on that day is that there were people in their own Jeeps, their own vehicles, their own bodies, who were looking outside their window at the rocks and boulders around them, trying to figure out which path, what obstacle, how to go to get over. But I focused on him. He represents that intuitive knowingness inside of me that each one of you has, that guide, that spiritual connection. By listening to his direction, turn left, turn right, a little bit more, let it grab, let it work. By paying attention to him up on screen, I was able to navigate that rock garden, that playground of life. I want you all to know that there is a spiritual perfection in each and every one of you. You need to start listening to it. Your path may go different than what your secondary causation thinks you have planned, but when we can just let go and enjoy the ride and enjoy the adventure, you just may find that your life, your path, is so much better and so much more exciting than anything than you could possibly imagine just by looking out your window to figure out what to do next. The law of detachment. In detachment lies the wisdom of uncertainty. Man, is that my Bible. In the wisdom of uncertainty lies the freedom from our past, from the knowing, which is the prison of past conditioning. That's Deepak Chopra. How many of us are here today who are locked inside of a cell with no bars, but it's a cell nonetheless based upon your acting and living life, but from past experiences? Thank you. By allowing that to just go, opens up doors of opportunities for your life to be bigger, better, and bolder than you can ever imagine. Regardless of what boulder you are stuck on at this present time, because believe me, I've been stuck on some, and I'm sure there are a few here that are stuck on a doozy right now. But trust yourself, that intuitive knowingness, you know what is right for you. Listen to it, trust it, because that is the universe talking to you and with you, helping you get realigned with that perfection of music that is your life. Sometimes we think we are alone, so we look at the relative world around us and try to find the right path. How many of us have done that? Oh, what's my neighbor doing? How'd they get out of that? What am I going to do about this situation? Oh, that person at the office, boy, they're getting my goat. But when you don't worry about that, your life becomes better. It becomes fuller, more expansive. Can't see the forest for the trees, or, here's a Williamism, you can't see the path for the boulders. There is a path that each and every one of you has. But maybe you're worried about the boulder or the rock or the pebble or sometimes even that grain of sand that is in your way that you somehow can't get around because you think you have to do it alone. And when I mean alone, I don't mean having friends around you and community around you, because I don't have a lot of physical friends outside that I go out every single weekend and stuff like that. I'm talking about that spiritual friend, that friend inside here, that God intuition of yourself, that higher consciousness of yourself. What about that friend? How often have you talked with that friend? That's the one you need to rely on. Thomas Troward, the individual is the center of their own world. What does that mean, Basil? Individual is a center of their own world. That is not coming from a narcissistic place. You are the center of your own world because only you can live your life. I can't. And when you come for prayer here at the center, or any religious science or new thought philosophy, they are not fixing your problem. We are not fixing your problem. We are only revealing to you the spiritual truth of who and what you are. And guess what? That higher self, that Jorge within you, knows exactly what to do. We are just there doing our prayer work and our affirmative prayer to open you up to that idea and that realization that you already had the answer inside of you. You were just too closed off to hear it. That's my job. Get the wax out of your ears. Or better yet, get the wax out of your heart. Open up and listen to that. This is a little bit of a long video clip, and so this is a little bit entirety of the whole process. And so he's going to be talking, so there is going to be video sound, but I'm also going to be talking through it, hopefully, and get a more immersive feeling about this whole video clip. So here I am starting my journey. Nice little rocks and pebbles in my way. Getting a few little scratches on the underbelly and stuff like that. My rock sliders are working good. Oops, except for that one right there. That one scared me. But I'm coming through, and I'm doing it by myself. Or what I think I am doing by myself, because I'm only one in that truck. That truck is my body. Me as the driver is my conscious self driving and navigating my truck through this field of boulders, obstacles in my life, what pitfalls. And you notice that guy running out in front of me? That's my higher self running out in front of me saying, look at me, pay attention to me. I've got you. I can see the path. I can see the boulders. I can help you through this field of life. And so as you see him pointing left, right, coming forward, back up, guess what? I'm not looking at the road at all. I don't even see that road. I'm paying attention to him. I'm looking right at him, paying attention to those signs, left, right, or other. And by doing that, by trusting that guiding light of myself with Spirit, I'm able to get through this field called John Bull. It was really a great day, and my wife cannot go with me on these type of runs because you hear that scratching, that rubbing. Rubbing's racing, people. I love it. But again, Do I want to come in at the end of this trail with a pristine truck, or do I want to come in with dings and scrapes and stuff going, I had a great ride. I enjoyed this life.
All right, so this is our more challenging one. Keep going.
Ah,
He's open.
listen
Straight
to
out.
this.
Right there. Remember, little turns, not a lot.
I'm not even looking at the road. I'm looking at him. I'm paying attention to my inner self.
Keep going, yeah. Keep going. Keep going.
Ooh, there's that.
A little bit. Just a little bit. There you go. Nice and easy. Let it bite. Keep coming. A little bit more. Right there. Keep coming. Keep coming. Straight it out now. Right there. Don't turn the wheel anymore. Come at it. Come at it. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming.
Keep coming.
Keep coming.
You can do it.
Don't turn. Keep going.
You have this, people.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Turn it. Turn it.
You can navigate this life.
Oh, he wants it. Now back up. Oh, there it goes. Woo. Yep. Keep going that way. That way. That way. Stay.
Ah,
There you go. Open this, baby.
open this baby. Ah. Thank you. One of the things I love about myself is, thank you. That wasn't supposed to be the funny part. That wasn't the punchline, people. I love how I can see spirit in action in everything that I do. There is a spiritual message. I can see that in going off-roading, which is just a regular day. But yet, I am filled with the action and awe that I'm not alone. That there is this wonderful thing called life, love, that power of the universe. And it only can operate through me as I allow it to. Being able to see analogies in everything allows me the opportunity to really dive into things. Where otherwise I might go, gee, I've never done that before. I think I'm going to hold off and kind of wait. My rock sliders are starting to show, can you tell? Oh, I don't think I can do that. What if I fail? What if you fail? So what? You back up, you try it again. Or change your path. You can always do a 3-point turn and go back the other way and go home. Or try another path. But at least try, people. Show yourself a good time. So what I'm saying to you here, there is no spoon. And that's from the Matrix. This thing that we called life, this that we're experiencing now, isn't real. I mean, it's real, but it's not real. It's the answer to the question that we put forth in spirit. What am I going to do? And Spirit says, yes, here it is. This is what you're thinking about. This is what you're experiencing. So if you don't like what your life is showing you today, then change your thought pattern. Change your angle of attack. Make it more relative to yourself, because there is no spoon, or better yet, there is no boulder. You have this, people. Enjoy your trail. Thank you.
Yeah, but did you wash the truck?
No, it's still dirty. Of course, I haven't been on a date yet. Oh, but while they're coming on out, here's what happened. So we went out yesterday because I'm putting together a ride for our Jeep club. And so I wanted to go, and it goes from 74 up to Idlewild. And so I wanted to go up it, and it was like a number 3, which is like it's just a dirt road. It wasn't anything like this. So Elizabeth would go with me. But I wanted to check it out. And as we were going, that fire that's happening was too smoky up there, and so Elizabeth didn't want to deal with that. So we did a U-turn, we came back. As we were coming back and we were heading towards Hemet Lake, somebody had just ran off the road. I'm serious. It just happened literally 2 minutes before we showed up. And without even hesitating, flipped a UE, got over there, helped them with their situation, and got them pulled out. But talking about spirit, here it is, I wanted to do this, X, Y, and Z, experience this, but something happened that was beyond my control, and it showed up. But yet I was at the right place at the right time with the right equipment, with the right attitude to be there